All right, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are locked in for a new episode of Keep It Clean Sports Edition. Sports Edition. We got the two brothers in blue. That sounds crazy. I don't want to associate y'all with the other blue. We got two brothers who love blue. That sounds
And
crazy. I don't
Mays.
want y'all to be affiliated. I don't want y'all to be affiliated. We got two brothers that love the blue from Michigan.
There we
That
go.
better?
That's
Third
right.
time's a charm.
That'll
Third
work.
time's a charm.
That'll do it.
There you go, man. We got two brothers that love blue that are here, man. Mr. Jamel, Mr. Abe, how you two brothers doing today?
Doing good, man. Happy to be here.
Same, my friend. Same. Happy to be here.
They're always more friendly when Michigan wins. I just want y'all to know that they bully me on the side. Whenever Michigan be losing, they take it out on me like it's my fault, like I was on the field, bro. Like I just want y'all to know that. Be quiet in the group chat. When they win, all of a sudden they got all the text messages. One of these days, we don't have homie court to address that.
It's crazy. I didn't hear from Mr. Woodfork after Michigan won. It's crazy how that works.
Look,
Two sides
his
to a phone,
perpetual
ain't it,
hate only
Jamel?
goes one way. Hey, two sides to a phone. Two sides to a phone. His perpetual hate only goes one way, man.
Hey, whose team are you on, Abe?
No, I'm saying there's two sides to a phone, so we just need to make sure
Oh.
we throw the hate back to him. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I was taught to respect my elders,
That's a fair point.
Okay, yeah.
but he
That's a
does
fair
have to
point.
drink that prune juice.
So for y'all that don't know, there's a bet that I was in the room for, but it wasn't my bet, so it wasn't my issue. This man Jamel and my father made some bet over one of the NBA Finals games. This is OKC and the Pacers, and apparently the loser had to drink. Was it a pint or a 6-pack of prune juice? I just remember the prune juice part,
It
and
was two
clearly
bottles. We
said
didn't say
this
how
has
much.
nothing to do with me.
We didn't say how much was in the bottle. We just said 2 bottles of prune juice.
What?
Which is insane. Yeah, right. So
That's crazy. That like an
it was
alcohol one, like prune juice.
prune juice. So the bet was, I can't remember if you took Indiana winning or OKC winning. It was whoever won, and then the other one, I guess if the team lost, you had to drink the prune juice. I don't remember the specifics.
It wasn't a series. It was just for a game, and then
For the
whoever I
game,
picked did lose. Yeah, they did lose, and then Mr. Woodfork said double or nothing. I was like, yeah, I'll take that bet. But I won the second time, and I think because he's my elder, his memory's kind of bad.
And of course, they gonna ask me like, well, what was said? And I was like, bro, I genuinely don't remember, because once y'all say prune juice, I was out. I was out, man.
I ain't in it.
That's what you should do, man. I'm gonna tell Pops, hey man, Jamel's on the pod with me. You already know this. You should have to drink the prune juice on the pod and see if you can finish the pod. That's what I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna lobby that to Pops. Jamel should have to drink. One of y'all should have to drink the
He
prune
gonna be
juice
able to
on
make
the
it through
pod.
the episode. He'll have to run off. What you mean? A 6-pack?
Brother
A
Ray,
12-pack?
I've already drank one bottle. Why do I have to drink another one? I don't understand.
Having the prune juice guts on the hot mic is crazy too.
Yeah. Just seeing the camera just roll and him take off, like that'd be
Ooh, yuck. All right. Well, we gonna dive straight into it. It's baseball season finale. World Series is here. So in this week's moment of if it was you, you got to defend him from the social media backlash. That's what we doing.
Is this man eating a glizzy out of a beer?
The glizzy made it a straw for the beer. Take me out to the ball game.
Did he take a straw out of a hot dog? What is that?
Out of a hot dog.
Is this what we're
You
doing
gotta
now?
defend him on social media. You gotta
He
defend
made
him
a
on social
straw.
media, man. Baseball games.
He made a
Take
straw
me
out of
out
a
to the
hot dog.
ball game. Take me out to the crowd. You, his attorney on social media, they slandering him. Who want to go first? How you defend him? How you do this, man?
I have absolutely no
Why you
defense for
shaking?
this man. What in the hell are you doing,
So
dog?
you correct me if I'm wrong, but he was drinking beer through a hot dog straw. That's what he was doing.
Correct. He took the hot dog, created it a hole in the hot dog, turned it into a straw, and was drinking his alcoholic beverage through the
Well,
Frank.
Your Honor, first things first, I want to say that he's a true Dodgers fan. All right, and the Dodgers they're going to win another championship, the best championship money can buy. Everyone knows that. But being a part of that organization makes him a winner, regardless of how he intakes his beer. All right, and if you think about it, he's multitasking. All right, most people will take a bite of something, take a sip. He's doing both at the same time, Your Honor. I think that my client is innocent of vulgarity, uh, ridiculousness, and sobriety because of the beer. He's innocent of all three, Your Honor. So I would like to say, free him. Let my Dodger go. Closing statement.
First and foremost, how much credit do we give for creativity, folks?
You got to give him
He's
at least
saving the world.
8. You know,
He's
we've
saving the
tried to make
world. No
straws.
plastics being used.
We've tried to make straws out of everything to not use plastic. So we make straws out of paper. We make straws out of metal. Dude is, I mean, he's on it. He's made a straw out of a hot dog, which not only can he drink the beer, but then he can eat the hot dog. Now, I don't want to do that.
Edible
I don't want
straws.
hot dog flavored beer. But yeah, basically, it's an edible straw. I give him props.
Edible straws. Come on, Abe. You looking like the jury right now, arms folded in disgust.
Listen. This video it don't make no sense. One, I'm gonna have a hot dog flavored beer. Okay. Second of all, we talking about efficiency and everything else. What we gonna talk about is this man stuck a glizzy in his drink and then drank it as if it was something special. We not doing this. I'm not. You might as well just move on to the next segment because I'm not condoning this nonsense. I'm not telling you out here to go do what you need to do. You get a straw or you just drink it from the cup. Next.
The craziest part about it is the idea of drinking beer with a straw in general is usually frowned upon. In general.
At what risk are we doing a hot dog instead of a? No, I'm sorry. No, sir. No.
And that was the attorney saying you're guilty, but he's taking your money
I'm not
anyway.
taking your case. I'm not taking your case, but I'll cash the check. I really appreciate it. But we're not doing this.
Jamel and I will try to fight for you. Abe saying he's sending you to jail. He can't even be on a jury selection. He called you guilty from jump.
No,
Oh
Judge,
my God.
he's pleading guilty, Judge. Yeah, we're not doing this. Yeah, we're not saying not guilty and fighting and wasting everybody's time. He's guilty. He's gone. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man. All right. We'll go straight into it. Hot takes in sports or hot info in sports. FS1 or F1. I'm so sorry. F1. Brother Abe. Rock out.
So just as a quick update to my Formula One fans, as you know, this season has been getting mighty spicy. So Constructors Championship, Team Championship for people who aren't familiar with Formula One. The Team Championship is already sewn up. It's done. It's for McLaren. McLaren has been absolutely killing it this year. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do for the top two drivers of the season. However, our lovely man Max Verstappen is climbing up the charts for the Drivers' Championship, which is basically the MVP. He has been a lone third for quite some time. And the last couple of races that have happened, we've had crashes, we've had team mishaps on the team order when they pit, It has been a bad situation for McLaren in a bunch of the situations. My boy Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, they've been doing their thing, getting the points. But as of the Drivers' Championship, Max actually might take this. And to all my people out there, to translate this, this is basically Cleveland coming back from being down 3-1 to win the championship against Golden State. If this man, Max Verstappen, becomes the champion this year, based on the whole season has gone, because McLaren already won technically, that's like the Warriors going 73-9. These boys let Max Verstappen win. He's going to be in a very serious GOAT conversation, if not already in there.
When is the finals for it? Like when's the next couple events that's going to determine all of this?
So there are only a few races left. So there is going to be five. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races left. So it's 5 opportunities for this to go down in. Max Verstappen is within 30 some odd points of the top number 1, and he's number 3 right now, in between Lando Norris. If he gets the points like he's been getting, which is first place in every race, which is 25 points, if he continues this on, he's literally going to be the number 1, and he's going to win the entire thing. He has came from behind, and it's unprecedented what he's doing right now.
Okay. Do you pull up to the race? Because I
mean?
might need you live on the ground as our keep it clean in person reporter.
Listen, in
right?
Abu
Interviewing
Dhabi,
the crowd,
I'll be
interviewing
there.
the race.
Yeah. I'll be in Abu Dhabi.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
I'll go out there.
You know what I'm saying? T-shirts coming soon. We get you a badge. You could be our media guy for F1, bro. You right there. You right there.
Man, I would
Look,
love
man,
that.
I know you want to race secretly. I know that.
Yeah.
We gonna get video footage of Abe sneaking in one of the cars.
Knees gonna be over top of the halo, but that's what it is, you know.
Oh man. Okay. Man, that's what's up though. Send us the link, man. I'll actually put that in the description so we can start seeing if we can get an F1 group chat going with that.
Man, I would love it.
And other hot news in sports, man. Other hot news, historic ruling from the NCAA. We got 2 former professionals, 2 former G Leaguers, now with the ability to go back and play in college, which is unprecedented. It used to be when you made you some money, you couldn't go back. We have 2 with Thierry Darlin, as well as what was my brother's name? Who was the other gentleman? Thierry Darlin, and then there was the
London Johnson.
There you go. Yeah, London Johnson. How y'all feel about this? Is this needed? Is it acceptable? Does it change up everything? What's y'all's thoughts?
Jamel had a good point. Go ahead.
Now you didn't make the NBA. Yeah, pros coming back.
So the G League is basically minor league. It can be considered pros, but it's basically minor league for the NBA. And before it was different because you brought up a good point. Before, college didn't pay you. So you can make a little bit of change in the G League until you made big bucks in the NBA. But now college pays you. And some of these college players are going to make more than these cats in the G League. And just looking it up, he still has his NCAA eligibility. He's still considered an amateur. Even in the G League, he's considered an amateur. And there's one other point I meant to make, and I cannot think of it because I'm getting old. That's why I'm bald. But when it comes to me, I will say it. When it comes to me,
try to brush his imaginary hair.
He still hits that.
I'm sorry, that was unnecessary.
Also.
That's on me.
I mean,
that's on me. You didn't deserve that.
when you think it's raining, every time you get hit with water and you think it's raining, it's me with the holy water. I got you. So I know what you need. All that evil built up inside you. What's wrong with you, sir? But I mean, as long as the NCAA is okay with it, like I said, you make money in the G League, you probably make more in college. Is he going back for an education? Maybe. but it's a
Mhm.
good chance he's just going back to get the NIL money. So I don't see a problem with it. I don't. And besides, we let old heads go play ball. Oh, I'm in college. I'm 38, but I want to play ball. You can still play ball, even if you're an older person. So I mean, let them play ball. Let them earn a living and get an education.
And to your point, the max G League salary, I believe, ranges from I think it's around $578,000. I believe that's the max that you can make.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these college players are making millions.
Mm-hmm.
And while I can understand that it might mess up the game, because I'm sure if we would have seen it before, there's a lot of players that we saw in NBA history that bypassed college and went to play overseas and then came back to play in the league after they made the rule that high schoolers can't go straight to the pros. Now that the NIL has opened the door, what does that mean for the G League? Like, is it beneficial for the NCAA and is it beneficial for the G League? I know they approved it, but if you can go here and make money, which was the whole purpose of some players going straight to the G League, because remember that just happened. What was it, 5, 6 years ago, where they offered that and you can bypass college by playing a
The
year or
Ignite
two
team.
in the G League and
Mhm.
then go to the league. There you go.
Right.
All right. So is it
Cooper
cooked for the
Flag,
G League if that's the case?
Uh,
possibly. Cooper Flag spent 1 year in college. He made $28 million.
So I will say this to your point though too. So the Ignite team was made so that way they could pick some of the top prospects that were supposed to go to college, but then they could take them, train them for a year, have them play against grown men, and then they went into the league and still got drafted. That's like Jonathan Kaminga and some of these other guys that have went through that program to where it has been successful. But to Jamil's point, now that they're paying players in college, there's really no need to have this Ignite team. Now, on the Ignite team, you could get paid up to like 500,000. So it was a big difference between like a normal G League player who's somebody just coming off the streets and saying, "Hey, I want to come play ball," or someone who just had like a rougher path trying to get there, to someone who's being handpicked by the league to be into this program. So with them making 500,000 on that team, it makes sense sometimes. But most of the time now, like what Jamel just pointed out, you can go to college for a year, make 20, $30 million, and then be out if you're that guy. If not, you can still go make a bag and be in college. Some guys just don't want to be, dealing with the schoolwork and everything. They'd rather just go hoop and go home, but it just depends on what your situation looks like.
So the G League will essentially just come back to those that are pending a 2-way or 10-day contract. Like
That,
Jamel's point, the minor
yeah,
leagues, you were drafted
yeah.
and you were officially drafted, and I think that's without factually confirming it and reading it, is that the drawing line? You weren't officially drafted yet, so you're not technically a professional.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to tighten up your game, and that's all the minor league is for. Like you're on the cusp, you're trying to figure out you can tighten up your game to be in the big leagues, and then if you can, great. If you can't, there's still a home for you. You can come down here and play and do your thing, or you can go
Mm-hmm.
overseas. I mean, basketball is universal. You go overseas, you can go make a bigger check. There's plenty of guys like OJ Mayo who were in the league, but just made a big buck across his water and just said, you know what, I'm gonna just stay here and do that.
What does that mean if you're coming out of high school? Does it still entice you to go to Ignite? Like, say if you're not the top 20. I'll just toss it out for 20. You're not the top 20 coming out of high school as the blue chips. You're everywhere below that. Do you still get enticed to go to somewhere like the Ignite?
Maybe.
I guess it depends on well, what's your priority. If it's money, you'll take a look at what can I make in the G League and what can
Right.
I make in college. If
Right.
money is your priority, if it's an education, you're definitely going to lean college. But
Mm-hmm.
like you said, some people don't want college. They don't want to deal with the schools. They don't want to deal with the schedule. They just want to play ball and make a little bit of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
So I guess it just depends on what you want to get out of it.
Yeah, that's why I said maybe, and there's exactly what I mean by that. He said it exactly right. Like, what do you care about? What do you want to do? Also, what money do you have in front of you? Do you have a
Mm-hmm.
better chance at an NIL deal, or do you have a better chance of just taking this guaranteed 500K? Like, you can still get endorsements being in the G League Ignite. You know, like there's nothing stopping you from doing that because kids in high school are getting NIL deals. So there's nothing stopping you from doing that. It's just what's your avenue? Do you have a better chance of going to Ignite and then going straight to the league because you just need a little bit of tweaking and development so you can raise your game? Or are you one of the top recruits that's going to go make $10 million without even blinking to just commit to a school?
Is it a sign for them for the fact that you went to the quote unquote G League and then transitioned back to college? Is it looked at as a downgrade or a back
You
step?
can look at it that way. You can look at you peaked too early, or maybe you thought that you were at a higher level than you should have been, or whatever. But I mean, to Jamel's point, if they're able to do that in baseball where they can just pick up from the minors all the time, this is the same situation. We're just not used to it. We haven't seen this before. So that's why everybody's up in arms because the rules are changing. We don't know what's happening. But I mean, if we're going to this where anybody can be an amateur until you sign a contract to the NBA, then we can't stop these deals from happening for kids in high school and everything else, then what are we talking about? It's open season.
Fair. That's touche. Fair. All right. Well, last piece in Hot in Sports. Jamel's favorite commentator has been in the news recently with the shakeup. He made an appearance on Carmelo's podcast. Shout out to Carmelo Anthony. You've been doing great work out there. But his favorite commentator with the highest of hairlines, only to be beat by Snoop Dogg, is Stephen A. Stephen A is popping out, making some appearances and talking about both of y'all's favorite basketball player, LeBron James. What's y'all's thoughts, man? What's y'all's
Okay,
thoughts?
let's just
Don't shake
hang
your head.
on.
You're a Lakers fan. You have to like him.
I am a
You're
Lakers fan,
You have to
but
like
to
him.
say my favorite player and say LeBron
Allegedly.
James, you can't do that. You know who my favorite player is, and I'm gonna need some respect on it, David. All right,
Michael Jordan?
It's Kobe Bean Bryant.
Oh, Jordan Jr.
Look at that disappointment.
Jordan Light.
Listen, you call him whatever you want, but that's my favorite player.
No. I mean, I'm still correct. He modeled his entire game off of Michael Jordan. If Jordan if he had a real kid, it would have been Kobe. It wouldn't have been them other two.
So you remember when you seen like an old school Mercedes, but then you see the new one and it's got the better tech. It drives better. It's got everything that you need. It'll see all the angles that you missed in that old beat up car. Yeah, that's Kobe to your mic.
You can't get as many miles out of it.
No. As a matter of fact, you got double the miles out of it. And
I don't want y'all to miss. I don't want y'all to miss how subtly that Abe just flexed on y'all with the Mercedes reference. That boy said, when you got the big end, when you got the big Benz, you could just drive like that. Yeah,
no.
When you could just dust your shoulders off with
the
new keys, bro.
No, this was only for the context of Kobe and MJ. No.
You seen that, right?
No. See, you see how he tried to
He
start
said,
stuff?
my M's not just for Michigan.
Wow.
That's what he said. My M's not just for Michigan.
You see how he started? You see how he started? Can you bring up a metaphor?
He's troublemaker.
Golly.
See, I'm gonna give you some holy water so you can sprinkle them too.
Yeah, please. Anyways, back to your Stephen A. comment. Yeah,
your boy Stephen A. Man, the continuous media chess moves. If it's even chess moves, I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily intellectual or not between him and LeBron. What's y'all's thoughts? And doing it on Carmelo's platform at that.
No. The question is, what are your thoughts, Brother David? What do you think about this situation?
Fair enough. I think you went to a peacemaker platform. I'll start there. Right? I think you went to a peacemaker platform and hold on. Yeah, your boy Stephen A. pulls up on Carmelo Anthony's podcast, and shout out to Melo. Melo's been peacemaker for a long period of time. So I want to go ahead, and for those that are saying it's messed up that Melo is allowing Stephen A to be on that couch and you're supposed to be LeBron's bro, Melo has tried to play peacemaker for a lot of issues that's been going on that couch. Ali Sadiq and Cat Williams, to reference one. Anytime something, well, hell, he even tried to make peace with KG after the Honey Nut Cheerios thing. And you're a better man than me. You're a better man than me for that. Cause ain't no way. So he, Stephen A. still media, Carmelo's media, and he goes up there, and of course, the recent-ish altercation between him and LeBron comes up, and Stephen A. got straight to the bag. I don't like his ass, not even a little bit. Firing on all cylinders, man. Claims the feud goes way back for more than a decade, and I can understand you feeling the way if it's been about 10 years of whatever's going on. I'm only bringing this up for the simple piece of it is sports related, and also we's tired of y'all's pseudo romance dance of whatever this is, bro. we are so tired of. Look, LeBron, you're out for the month. The most recent thing we've seen from you, and this isn't even necessarily a basketball take, you made a decision to announce a bottle of Hennessy that most folks don't even drink. Shout out to the homie Bodega. He said, when you go to the club, nobody recognizes a bottle of VSOP. We're getting regular Henny because it's a symbolic thing. Just for you to then announce 3 days later, you're out for the month with sciatica. Cool. Got you. Stephen A., I get it. Y'all are going back and forth. I do think part of me feels like this is a rollout. Can y'all both just stop? That's all I really got on it. Can y'all both just stop? Now, on the college football, who want to go first? What's the game of the week? What y'all got?
Well, I'll go first, Jamel. I'll just say that the game of the week for me was obviously the University of Michigan. Handling business with Washington. We definitely had some lucky plays that kind of pushed us and propelled us to where we needed to be. So I'm not going to act like it was the cleanest game. I'm still going to be a critique of the game. But yeah, it was what it was. I think it was a good win for us as far as making sure the schedule looks right for us on our side. But I think that we saw some pain points that we need to fix. Defensively, we definitely got to defend a little better across a deep ball. That's been one of our pain points that we've had throughout the year. But like I said, seeing some of them interceptions, seeing the offense roll in, like that felt good to kind of see in action and know that we're building. It's progress. I told you, all I want to see is progress every week. And right now we're building, and that's all I want to see.
I agree. That's exactly what's going on in Michigan. It's a young team with a new young head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Underwood looks, I don't want to say really, he looks good. He looks good as a freshman. He looks good. So I can't wait till, if he stays that long, junior, senior year, dude, we can actually do something, and they put the pieces around him. They recruit well. Michigan's still going to be butting heads with Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Ohio State's number one. Michigan doesn't care. That's the great thing about that rivalry, is that whatever that number is before your team name, the other team doesn't care. Michigan's currently unranked, I believe. They should be ranked, but they're currently unranked. Ohio State's number one. If it stays that way when they meet, Michigan's still going to put their head in the sand. It doesn't matter. They're going to dump them. They're 25th. All right. That's what I'm talking about. But for me, since you took Michigan, it's October, so I'm gonna get a little spooky.
Wait, hold on, really quick. I'm giving y'all the opportunity. I'm used to one of y'all having a Michigan rant at least weekly. Y'all don't got a Michigan rant about the disrespect, about how Alabama's getting the love that y'all deserve. No Michigan rant. Y'all just gonna quietly say y'all won. I'm disappointed. Coming off of a week where y'all didn't say nothing, this the best y'all got? Boo.
Again, we talked about progress, right? That was the rant. The rant was we're looking good. The progress is there. That's what we want to see. That's the rant for this week. Next week you might see a little bit more fire out of me. But this week we're gonna keep it chill because we didn't exactly fall on our swords whenever they lost against USC. So I'm gonna just keep it cool for this week, and then next week it might be some different energy. But I hear you.
Y'all sound like Wolverines that are just happy to be here. I'm disappointed. I'm so
Negro, we 5-2.
disappointed.
What you talking about?
What is
I'm about to
this?
say we looking good. What you
Get out of
mean?
here.
Be-
It's not
Yeah.
like we hitting 500.
Yeah, because
We 5-2.
this entire season, since we no, since we've been doing this podcast, y'all came in here. Y'all have like a minute and a half to 3 minutes of show us some love. And then now y'all want to just be kind of quietly humble. Nah.
Ooh, yeah, right.
Get it
You
off your
looking for
chest.
the
Talk about the
Michigan
Wolverines.
love? Ooh, let me tell you, Ray. Michigan, being the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, just win a game. It's not big to me. It's not big to Abe. It's only big to you, Ray. Oh, yeah, brother. Understand something. We're used to winning, brother. It may not be something you know about. We do. Oh, yeah, brother. So, with that being said, the game of the week for me. Scary story. Can I tell a scary story real quick? It was a dark and spooky night on a Friday, and Louisville played Miami. It was supposed to be a nothing game, a walkover, a hurricane, if you will, hitting the city of Louisville. But that's not what happened. Oh, no. That hurricane was just a breeze, a fart, if you will, a mouse fart. It just came and went, along with that L they took. Number 2 was their ranking. But it's also what they were at the end of that night. Ooh, scary. Scary. Go Cardinals.
Okay, so I'm not going to be as animated on mine, but
what do you think about Carson Beck?
Just take his ass in Georgia. I don't think Carson Beck's a pro quarterback. I think he went from one good team to another good team. You got a lot of good pieces around you. How many times have we seen wide receivers and running backs go to the league and the quarterback doesn't? I mean, all those Alabama quarterbacks that have come and gone, they win championships, but it's because of the pieces around them. Maybe that's the same thing with Carson Beck. He's got good pieces around him.
He never should have left Georgia. I agree with that. I don't know if he's not NFL, potential. I think he can go play for somebody. I mean, one of these sorry teams could have him, and it wouldn't make too much of a difference. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he can't go get a check. He's got the size and everything else. So I don't know. I don't want to say he's not NFL potential, but I don't see him being like the guy anywhere. But who knows? Daniel Jones is coming out of the wood, doing his thing in Indianapolis because he's got the right situation around him. Maybe that's just what it takes. But my take was Vandy beating LSU.
Daniel Jones wouldn't have thrown his team under the bus like that.
Again, we're talking about two different individuals, sir. But Vanderbilt beating LSU this week, another one that needs to be talked about heavily because everybody keeps talking about, oh, Vanderbilt ain't for real. They're not that team. I'm just waiting for them to fail. Keep waiting. Because they keep mowing through these teams the way they're supposed to. The boys are, 10th ranked right now? Like, they're not playing around. They don't care that they go to Vanderbilt. They've got the system, the team, and everything else in place. It's going to be a hard-fought season for them, but I don't see them not making the top 12 right now. If we're looking at the teams, they look like a top 12 team, and that's scary. I mean, if we're talking another game that we need to get into here, Oklahoma beating South Carolina, I felt like that was a good team for them to kind of get back on track with. I mean, it's not, killing anybody, but I think that was a good game for them to show forth that they still got something moving forward. Georgia beating Ole Miss this week. Mm-hmm. That was a game. I don't think either one of those teams really lost. If you look at the game, it came down to the wire. This was one of those games that you didn't change the channel when you were watching it. This wasn't, let me go check on this game. you stayed locked in with Georgia and Ole Miss, and it was a good game. I think both of those teams again, top 12 without question, easy mover as far as that goes. Arizona State being Texas Tech. Again, that's another sleeper team. People keep kind of forgetting. I keep telling y'all that wide receiver for Arizona State, that boy is serious. And if they keep making those decisions that they do towards the last couple of minutes, they'll be okay. Who else we got? We got Indiana beating Michigan State. Hang on. Didn't you called that, right?
Number 2.
Yeah.
I also called Vandy beating LSU.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
LSU.
Yes, she did. Like I
Yeah,
said,
I was surprised
I called
you let him
Arizona
slide.
State.
I'm surprised Jamel didn't try to get his credit for that.
Oh no, I was gonna give it to him
You did.
regardless. So you ain't got
did.
trip. Yeah. No, Arizona State one I definitely called, and I think the one that we were all kind of hoping for, unfortunately, was Arkansas over Texas A&M, and that did not happen. It was close though; it was 45-42, so it wasn't like it couldn't have happened, but it definitely was a game where I thought this could turn.
Abe covered pretty much everything, man. The one thing I'd like to point out real quick, if you look at the top 10, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but this really shows the Big 10 and the SEC, their teams are the cream of the crop. All of the top 10 teams are either from the Big 10 or the SEC. No one cares about those other conferences. Maybe if Dabo Sweeney would dabble into the NIL, he might bring in some good players and get the ACC up there. But for right now, it's just Big 10, SEC. That's it.
I mean, and how we usually kind of go through this is just going through the poll top 25 real quick. We've got Ohio State, which I hate even saying that name. Put that down. Indiana, Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon is 6th. Georgia Tech is 7th. Ole Miss is 8th. Miami 9th. Vanderbilt 10th. Real quick question: you got any problem with any of these teams in the top 10?
Georgia Tech has
Did A&M
won.
deserve it for how close that game was?
No, not in my opinion, from an unranked team. But again, a win is a win.
And it's hard to be the conference team, someone that you see year in and year out, you know.
Right.
Arkansas is in the SEC also. So,
yeah.
But like Ray said last week, we're constantly on that Texas A&M watch because we know they're going to lose eventually. I think Georgia Tech might be a little fraudulent. They really struggle with some teams that they shouldn't. So they're on that same boat as A&M.
Okay. So then capping off 11 through 20, we got BYU, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Missouri, Virginia, Tennessee, South Florida, Louisville, and LSU. I'm going to just stick my neck out there and say Notre Dame shouldn't be 12. That's the way they started their season. I know they picked it back up, but the way they started the season and the losses that they had, I'm not impressed with Notre Dame right now.
The same way you feel about Notre Dame is how I feel about LSU.
Okay, fair.
Exact same way.
Fair.
So I am not mad at that at all.
Yeah. And then South Florida didn't even know they were even in the mix. So that's pretty interesting to see. That's kind of like that Georgia Tech team where you just kind of see them and you're like, wait a minute, how'd they get up in there? But, I mean, hey, more power to them. 21, Cincinnati. 22 is Texas. 23 is Illinois. 24, Arizona State. And then, obviously, 25 is the U of them. Obviously, to David's point, where my rant begins, we should be getting a little bit more respect. But I also realize we're 5-2 and we're working our way back. So that's the realism kicking in. But the crazy Michigan fan and myself definitely wants to see us in the top 15. So we'll see. Thoughts, comments, anything about the
Man,
21
okay.
through 25?
21 through 25 is up in the air. I think everybody at this point is fighting to get closer to that spot of the cream of the crop that Jamel was mentioning, right? If all
Mm-hmm.
of your top 10 is Big 10 and essentially the SEC, what do you do
Mm-hmm.
from here? Because this is similar to what we were saying, even as the season was going on. We know who is who. At best, we're complaining about the quote unquote scragglers, right? Does UCLA deserve to be there? Does USC deserve to be there? And when we're talking about this type of conference, and
Mm-hmm.
on the other side, for the SEC, we're back to the usual product of everybody's a threat. We're talking about Arkansas being unranked, and you gave A&M a game, a
Mm-hmm.
game. And Arkansas consistently for these last few years has been one of those, yes, while you're unranked, you keep creating problems. Now we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing a powerhouse in its own form of Vanderbilt coming along to be an issue. Missouri's still a problem. Like even
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of the schools, if you're not LSU, Ole Miss, Michigan, and even though they're not in the top 10, Michigan is in that top 20 to 25. Is like, but at any given
Mm-hmm.
moment, they can mess around and be launched into that conversation. At any
Mm-hmm.
given moment, another SEC team could be launched into that conversation, especially as we get further into conference play. So if you're not one of those teams and you're outside of that 12, bro, you can't take a loss like Miami. If you're Georgia Tech,
No.
you have to finish the season. You
Right.
have to finish the season because you'll mess around and by this point next week be in this 20 to 25 conversation that we're having right now.
Right. That's a good point. I agree with them. I think it's one of those things where you have the schedule that you have to win out in order to prove that you're doing what you're doing. And then at the end of the season, if you've got 2, 3 losses, you may not be ranked. And it's just strength of schedule. It is what it is. You're Georgia Tech. But like Michigan, if we do what we're supposed to do and win out and we beat Ohio State, I mean, there's no way you don't stick us in the top 10. And that's just real.
Mm-hmm.
Because I will add one more piece before we transition on. Like one of the hardest things, and as Carson Beck, you should know this because I'm struggling just sliding past how you tried to put that game on the tight end as if you didn't throw what should have been 5 interceptions that they let you get away with. They let you get away with
Mm-hmm.
one, but you threw 4 picks and you're going to put
Mm-hmm.
the loss on the tight end. And that's the separation between the SEC and Big 10. And you should know this because that one loss crippled them. Right,
Yeah.
we've seen the SEC and Big 10 take certain losses, and we got a lot of 5-2 teams, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of 5-2 teams. We got a few undefeated. We got ones that only have 1 loss, but that 5-2 is right there in these conversations, and you are a slip up away from being here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's the difference between the Big 10 and the SEC once you get out to the ACC and everybody else. Because even
Yep.
for the ACC, other than Miami and right now Georgia Tech, who is in the top 10 and flying under the radar, like wickedly flying under the radar, just quietly, shh, don't look at me, shh, and keep moving up, right? You know that, and only to be beat because what's funny about it, they're flying under the radar and they get to hide deeper in the shadows behind a crazy run of what Indiana is doing. Yeah, look at them. They're not supposed to be here. Don't even pay attention to me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
now I done got Clemson out the way. I got Big Dog out the way. Eventually, they have to see Miami, but
Mm-hmm.
you could kind of teeter down the line and let that go. I think we're in one of the best college football seasons we've seen in a long time.
It's getting spicy. It's definitely getting spicy. Every game matters. Not oh, did you beat Marshall? Like, no, every single game matters. So it's always mattered to a certain extent, but I felt like, you could be Alabama and lose 2 games and still be in the top four, like those type of situations. It's not that case anymore. Like, you have to look at the situation and know you may not make the top 12 with those schedules anymore. So yeah, it's definitely getting spicy.
And one thing I would like to point out, especially with Georgia Tech and Miami playing each other later in the year, um, like Ray said, Carson Beck throwing his tight end under the bus like that. On
Yeah.
most teams, the quarterback is the leader. You have a couple of captains on offense, a couple on defense.
Hmm.
Usually, the quarterback is one of those captains. All right.
Right.
So how will they respond, knowing, hey, our quarterback, to make himself look good, even
Hmm.
though he had a shitty game, will throw one of us under the bus?
Yep.
Like it's little thing like that can fracture a team.
Hmm.
So, and we shouldn't be surprised, I don't think, if Georgia Tech beats Miami when they play.
We'll see, because they have Georgia at the end of the season. Georgia versus Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we know Georgia's going to be in the top 12. So when they have that game, and if they have a loss or two versus like Boston College, NC State, Pittsburgh, any of these games that they have coming up, it's not going to be a good look. You
Mm-hmm.
lose to one of those teams, and then Georgia goes out there, and don't let it be a 40-7 win or something like that to where you get embarrassed, because then it looks like, the wool will come over the eyes a little bit and be like, all right, so you're not really like that. Okay. And then you just kind of have to move on to the next guy. So, yeah, you'll quickly get put out the top 12 with a schedule the way that they do.
And if he does go pro,
All right. Speaking speaking of somebody being thrown under the bus, we can get straight into the NFL. Justin Fields has just had tire marks put all across his chest, up and down, and he turned it to a whole speed bump. We could start the NFL week just like that, bro. We asked this
Can I?
last was it last pod? Is it done? Is it done for him?
It
Because
was
the
good. I
owner
was trying to defend
apparently
him.
is saying so.
I was trying to defend him last week. I was trying to be like, yo, he can be positioned, a player somewhere else. He can try it with like a sorry team somewhere else. Like, I tried to give like a few scapegoat answers for him. After last week, let's just be done with it. Like, he's made his money. He's got a guaranteed contract. Like, can we do something else? Because this is just really hard to watch every week, because you want to give him a chance. You want to root for the brother. You want to say, Justin, like, man, let's do this. Like, let's pick it up this week. And then you look at the product in the field and you're like, I'd rather watch Tyrod Taylor like struggle than watch Justin Fields just fall on his face. It's getting so bad.
you have a team
There's
with
no
a
team. Go
you have
ahead.
I
a
said
team with a
a sorry team, a backup sorry team. He could be all right.
uh, we have a team with a sorry offensive line. Their offensive line is trash. The Jets.
Yeah.
We have a quarterback who has really bad throwing mechanics. He's great with the wheels. He can move from point A to point B, but throwing the ball, he's not great. So you
The
have
job he's
a
supposed to do.
yes, yes, absolutely. You have a head coach who's a rookie, and he's a defensive head coach.
Hmm.
So that doesn't help. Uh, Justin Fields was not set up for success in New York. But like Abe said, he got his bag. He can go somewhere else. Or like we mentioned last week, he can change positions. He dude is fast. Uh, but as a quarterback, and this goes back to what we were just talking about with the NCAA. Ohio State produces some stud wide receivers.
Hmm.
Name a stud quarterback from Ohio State.
Crickets.
Like, exactly. So this is another case. Yeah, they didn't help him in college because he was athletic. His athleticism, while he could showcase it, doesn't help him as a quarterback in the long run because eventually you start slowing down. We saw with Cam Newton. And once you start slowing down, if you don't have proper mechanics, if you can't get rid of the ball, and definitely if you don't have the time, New York Jets offensive line,
right.
what can you do? I actually feel kind of bad for him as a former Bear.
I don't like the narrative that the owner is creating because, to your point, Jamel, the offensive line was bad last year too. And while Aaron Rodgers is older, it doesn't cover up the part of you haven't put anybody in place to try to build around him or at least protect him. Because even for now, with us trying to diagnose his throwing mechanics, that wasn't a question of him coming when he came out of Ohio State, right? That wasn't an issue. He was clearly slinging it, and that we know college is different from the pros. We're not taking that away, but even in the pros, you clearly need some time to block. You clearly need some time just in general. We said it last week, or I said it last week. He hasn't seen an offensive line in majority of his career other than 6 games with the Steelers. And that should be enough to get you somewhere. So if the line is bad here, Breece Hall hasn't helped because you can't be a great running back if there's no line. I can't utilize my receivers if there's no line. That was, to me, just a dick move by Woody. But I'm also not mad at the idea. Look, the stereotype of Ohio State is y'all can't play QB in the league. The only one that's giving you hope is CJ Stroud. And Lord knows his line is horrendous. But that's a direct comparison of the Texans line is very, very bad. The Bears and the Jets line for Justin Fields has been very, very bad. And we saw CJ Stroud being a defensive personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct play away from potentially making a comeback against Seattle just the other night. Like this close. Now, if you go side by side, because and that's also back to the conversation we're having, is he that bad to where he deserves, Justin Fields specifically, is he that bad to where he deserves more slander than the Tuas, than the Kylers, than the, insert all these names? Because they're throwing him under the bus like he is the worst quarterback in the league. Is that a fact?
The only reason why they give Tua a break is because Tua is literally trying to survive CTE.
Abe's point, Patrick Mahomes, not a lot of run packages for him, but he's second on their team in rushing, 19 yards behind Pacheco, 45 yards ahead of Hunt, and he averages 3 less rushing yards a game than Pacheco, and he has 4 touchdowns. This tells me he's doing a lot of running, a lot.
That's a crazy stat.
It is. It's crazy to me, but it goes to the offensive line. Because of the offensive line, they don't have a good running game. And because of the offensive line, Patrick Mahomes has got to run. No reason why you have Pacheco and Kareem Hunt behind you, and yet you're second on the team in rushing and not far behind the number one rusher on your team. It makes no sense. So I think they got to strip that offensive line, and they have 2 bruising backs. Pacheco and Hunt are both bruising backs. And like Abe said, you wear down that defense over and over. You keep punching. What Mike Tyson say? No, excuse me, Marshawn Lynch. You keep punching him in the mouth over and 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 over again. Eventually, motherfucker don't want to be punched in the mouth no more.
Right.
But that's when you go over the top because they're expecting to run. You go over the top. And we know they have some of the fastest wide receivers. It's scary. Worthy's out there. Hollywood Brown. Rashee Rice is back. Any of them can burn you. That young guy, Thornton, he's a burner. And always down low, you got Kelsey, you got Gray. I mean, it can be scary.
And then let's just make a quick point too. No one's expecting Kansas City to run the ball, right? Like we're not being shocked by them tossing the ball every possession that they get the chance to. But the whole point is you gotta shock me on defense. And the only way Kansas City will shock someone is by actually running the ball. If you run the ball, you wear the defense down. Now you can't chase my 4-2 wide receiver Worthy. Like now you can't get over the top of Rashee Rice. Like those are when you open up the game and then everything becomes easier.
But to both of y'all's point, the Pacheco before injury and the Pacheco now isn't the same Pacheco. But before injury, he was a bruising back, but he was getting chunk yardage consistently. And that might be because of how open the passing game was, because Kansas City last year dealt with a lot of injuries, especially to the wide receiver position. You were losing people left and right. So that might have opened up the floodgates. But even to have Rashee Rice back this past weekend, and again, this is a scrimmage. You were playing you were in your hometown playing a team that is struggling in the Raiders. So you're giving a scrimmage. Rashee Rice went crazy. Shout out to him. I have you on fantasy. Worth the wait. Worth the wait, bro. Cha-ching. Solid, right? With Pacheco and Kareem not being, I guess, do they need a dual threat? That might be my question. Do they need that dual threat? Like, in this moment, would you try to go get an Alvin Kamara? Would you try to go get I'm trying to think of another example. I would probably try, if he could stay healthy. That's the thing. And Aaron Jones from Minnesota, someone that could catch out of the backfield and go move around. I'm looking for just more of a dual threat running back.
I got you.
You need a James Cook pitch.
I got you. Yeah,
James Cook type, running back.
Yeah.
But if you have that, because especially as we're seeing the league advance from your Bijans to your C-Max to your Jahmyr Gibbs, shout out to him, have him in fantasy. Woo! to your even Saquon, to your James Cooks, to your Junties, even Hampton before he got hurt. All these pass catching running backs that give you that ability to say, hey, even if I'm going to stay in shotgun, because to counter the being on their centerpiece, we're watching Buffalo consistently in shotgun. They spend majority of their time in shotgun. James Cook isn't often running up the middle. He'll do it every now and then, but again, he's a passing back. You're seeing the ETNs out there in Jacksonville. As you're running around the league, Pacheco and Hunt are kind of being phased out, similar to David Montgomery. Like, you're cool for the end zone once we get down there, but we have to get down there.
Right.
So, do you go get a Kamara? I'm trying to think of another option. Who might have somebody on the trade block?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to live, and the only reason why I'm saying is because I'm a Lions fan. It's hard to live in a land where Gibbs exists and you are on the same team. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's no knock to my boy Montgomery, but like, Gibbs carries 90% of the load, and then you got to come in and finish it off. And then most of the time, Gibbs is going to take care of it before you even get on the field. So it's really hard because Montgomery is not a power back; he's actually a running back. But like he's on the team with Gibbs. Like, you are the power back now because we have Gibbs. But like to your point, if you're looking for a 1-2 punch, obviously my eyes lit up when you said Alvin Kamara. I'm thinking to myself, if he's your number one option and then Pacheco's your number two, that would be like the nastiest like backfield you could think of right now, currently as a double duo. But is that realistic? Probably not. Is the Saints going to really give up Kamara to go to the Chiefs? Like, probably not. But it's one of those things where like it's something where you think so?
I think they would. Because you're in the situation, the Saints are willing to rebuild right now. I think they're comfortable with Spencer Rattler. I think they're saying, like, we'll make you our receiver.
Yeah, you only do that for the Saints if you love Alvin that much.
Well, to counter, Alvin said himself he'd rather finish out the season, and that's because of his loyalty. At the same time, it's a business. I hear what you said.
He also said he on the other pina coladas. If he got traded, he'd retire. So that's what he said.
He did say
pina coladas.
Okay, fair. Now, but even to your like the Gibbs and Montgomery point, like we have numerous examples of the pass catching, not scat back, because respectively, like some of them are running. You got the pass catching and then power run duo. You got Detroit, you got Atlanta with Algier and Bijan, right? You got the dual headed monsters in Chicago. Seattle, Jacksonville, like that's kind of the precedent of what we're seeing going forward. So now, unless you have the all utility back of a Bijan, a Gibbs, or a Saquon, you have to have two. There's got to be somebody they could steal somebody from. Somebody.
I mean, you could definitely steal Aaron Jones. I don't think that's a hard steal to get from Minnesota, but I just don't think he's the solve to the problem, right? Like, I get you got Pacheco who could be your power back and, the guy who goes up the middle. And then you have Aaron Jones be the guy who catches the ball because he's still got some speed, not breakaway speed, but he still has some speed. But I do hear your point, and I do think that you're right. I think that having a running back or the two quick backs in the back are definitely becoming more popular, especially because the old style running back was like depleting to the point where they were looking at the value of a running back as we saw on HBO and live like everybody else did, where this dude's looking at someone saying Saquon ain't gonna get that money elsewhere. Like it's getting to the point where that's the like word around the league, but we're seeing the success be what it is. Like I brought up Seattle because I was watching that game the other night with Charbonnet and all them, and it's just like they're not supposed to be just walking down the field like this. Like, in either one of them got into the game and they gave you 10 plus yards on the carry. That's scary because you still got Sam Darnold, who's playing at a high level, right? How we saw him last year. He's coming into his own this year. And then he's got his targets doing what they're doing as well, too. It's just like, it's getting shaky, but I see your point. I think that having a dual running back is important. I just think with a team like Kansas City, when they have so many weapons, it may not be what they need.
Yeah, and two, really quick with your Sam Darnold point. Us at Kick, we can accept when we're wrong. Let me do a cleanup. I want to do a quick cleanup. Jackson Smith and Jigba, you are not a poor man, CeeDee Lamb. You a bad motherfucker, right? I'm gonna give you even more credit and say you might be more in the ilk of a St. Brown, because I was discrediting you with the CeeDee Lamb piece just because we're in the midst of a debate with Jamel, but the route running of Jackson Smith and Jigba is so crazy. Like he's because he's still not really an outside like receiver necessarily. You're gonna be on the slot, but it's just the way that he moves and continuously finds the gap in the way that St. Brown does as well. And for them to not have a true number one in the sense of what we know as an X receiver being on the line, and him doing what he's doing with Sam Darnold, like let's be honest, you're making Sam Darnold look good. He's not making you look good. If you don't have Jackson Smith and Jigba, we're looking at Seattle like you gave that boy a bag we know he didn't deserve. Because of course I can go throw. What does Jamel always say? You, me, and you could go throw the ball to Justin Jefferson. we could throw it with our offhands to Jackson Smith. So Sam Darnold is in the perfect situation. But I discredited you, Jackson Smith. My bad. That's on me. Boy, you did, and they did it too. No, he's still not better than Antonio Brown. Nah.
That was gonna be my question.
Nah, and I just answered it for you. No.
Respectfully, I disagree. No. Respectfully, I disagree.
No, because we over there watching. We watch a Texans defense kind of get walked down, and we're seeing even the older Kenneth Walker. And it's tough to say older because you're still such a dual threat. If I'm the Chiefs, that's what I go get. I try to go get a Kenneth Walker who's consistently shown I could be a pass catcher out of the backfield. And still make some runs as long as I have blocking. I might try to go get Kenneth Walker. Y'all are cool with Charbonnet. Let him be the guy. You get some picks back. I might try to get Kenneth Walker. But what's y'all have any other standout games that you saw? What's the games y'all want to break down?
Real quick, Ray, I will tell you one other person. Tank Bigsby. He's sitting on the bench in Philadelphia. Ooh. Saquon is going to start for as long as he wants to. Tank Bigsby is a starting running back. Sit on the bench. Just want to throw him out there. Show him some love.
Why did they go get him? Like, what did you gain from getting
make any sense. That didn't make any sense, really. Just taking the best available player they had at the time is what it really sounded like.
It sent him to purgatory, and it's tough because you're on a good team. But what did what did you go get him for, especially for what he was getting ready to try to show in Jacksonville?
And especially after the
Why did you
season
do
that
this to me?
Saquon had last year, like, what are you coming to follow behind? Like, this is like when you go get a Super Bowl with Pat and then you draft a quarterback. Like, yeah, have fun on that bench, bucko. Like, it's not happening. Like, this dude won the Super Bowl. He literally had the rushing record last year. Like, what? You're not seeing the field, buddy. Yeah, that's. But the game we need to talk about, though. Go ahead.
Go. No, I was gonna say it's like for Tank, I can only imagine. That's like being told you're going to timeout and you didn't do nothing wrong. Like as a kid, when you remember them times you caught a whooping that you didn't even deserve. Like I didn't do what they said I did.
Right.
So why am I here? He minding his business. And it's even more funny. You sent me to a winning team, but you sent me from Jacksonville, which is, I don't want to knock y'all, but you in Florida and you dealing with Jacksonville. And then you sent me to Philly where it's cold. I at least had sun. You gonna make me sit and be cold on the bench. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can be warm as it. You sent me to be cold on the bench.
Yeah, that's purgatory for sure. Nah, the game I wanted to bring up though, y'all forgive me, but Daddy Flacco came into town and said, "Oh, y'all done forgot that I know how to beat y'all." They gave up a whole future 5th round pick just to make sure I came up in here to tear that ass up one more time. Like, ain't no way in the world we supposed to be sitting here watching Flacco run the clock down, get a team back into position right after watching you score and go. I was laughing. I was rolling. I was like, you see the gray in the beard, the whole nine. Joe Flacco didn't care at all.
Imagine being Mike Tomlin and knowing you were right, because he was just making fun of Cleveland. Like, I don't understand why you go and sign somebody. And
did you hear Pittsburgh's GM? He said, "Now how you gonna give up the future for an old man who's not even gonna be here next year for this reason right here? For this reason right here."
We saw two old heads putting up numbers. Were they the highest scoring game this week?
Combined,
I think they were.
Yes.
In combined points.
Yes.
They were the highest scoring game this week. We had essentially 80 years of QB giving us 80 points in the NFL.
I'm gonna take that back. A second highest, and it was tied because it wasn't tied. Cowboys smacked the Commanders. That was 66 points combined, but it was 44-22. And then the other one that got really close was, and the one we need to talk about too, is Broncos Giants. That was 65.
Okay. Fair. I also don't think anybody expected Pittsburgh or the Bengals. Like, we knew you'd give Jamar Chase an opportunity. 19 target, bro. We saw Jamar get the ball thrown at him so much that he forgot he had hands. Like, he was dropping. He's like, damn, man, they still hurt from all these other catches. Damn.
Jamar got the ball so much, he said, "Joe who?" That's how many times he caught the ball last week. He said, "Joe who?" You mean
he said
Flacco?
Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco, cup of Joe. Just give me a Joe. Joe Budden, Joe Biden. Just put a Joe back.
Yo, straight up.
The Senior Bowl was highly entertaining for sure. But we have two teams that don't play defense. One, we expect to not play defense in Cincinnati, and the other, we expected to have an all-time defense who let Justin Fields put up like 34 points on them. So two really bad defenses, but still didn't expect this from two people I would call dad.
You know what? You know what's even funny, to our earlier point on when we were talking about Justin Fields? I can't be the owner of the Jets and watch Joe Flacco at his old age go sling the rock like that. And then it's like, I'm not saying I have the greatest line, but we do know Cincinnati's line has been horrendous these last 2 years. Joe Burrow was on the right. I'm surprised he didn't have turf toe last year for as much running as he was doing. You know what? We might have to walk it back. I'm sorry. maybe you're right, Woody. Maybe you were right about Justin. And I don't want to do that. But Joe Flacco, who can't move, is slinging the rock. Now, who I do want to highlight, hey, Jalen Ramsey, you was out there getting cooked.
You're talking big the week before, baby.
Hey, you got flambéed, you got grilled, you got smoked, you got seared, you were baked, bro. Jamar was putting you through death, boy, man. Yeah, that was a great Thursday night game. Great to start the week. I'm with you though. This comeback season of the Broncos, this has to be stopped.
You called it though. You said this is a team that you can see in the Super Bowl, and them boys went out there and scored 30-some odd points in one quarter. You know, like they were down 19-0, and then they came back and did all that. Like what?
2 weeks in a row. Yes.
When Jackson Dart came off the field screaming, talking about, we won, we did that. And then the boy went down the field and a couple throws, kicked the field goal, and the game was over. I'm on the TV like what's happening? What are we watching right now? Are they that good, or are these teams messing up that bad? I can't tell the difference right now. I don't want to give them credit for it. Maybe I'm hating. Call me a hater. I don't see it yet, but I'm looking at these teams and I'm going, that was a really good win.
The Jackson Scataboos are really entertaining. You know, Ray always talks about CTE. With those two, they are team CTE because that's all they do is Scataboo is straightforward. That's all he knows. One way, one speed. And he does that with his quarterback. Both of them headbutting them like, all right. Y'all them white boys I see on 80s movies that go around. Hey, you shoot me in the nuts now. But both of them, they're entertaining. It's just not a good team. For Denver to be in a hole like that, they should have been ashamed. They're in a hole. I mean, you got Sean Payton on one side and Dayball, who I'm confused. Is he a good coach? Is he not? I don't even know anymore. But you got him on the other side. Denver should, with their defense especially, they should have blown them out. They shouldn't have had to do a comeback. And it was in Denver, I believe. So that makes it even worse. It highly entertaining, and it wasn't just the fourth quarter. It was the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. That's when everything happened.
Yeah.
So very entertaining. But man, Denver, I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl.
Well, to your 80s reference, that Brian Bosworth lookalike in the QB of Bo Nix over there, right? that lookalike over there is he like the newer Baker, where you're just a gamer, you're just out here just flat out gaming, like you can sling the rock, you can move around, you got the gumption, you know, that's the great word that they use for white QBs. You got gumption.
Yeah.
you know, he reminds me of Baker. Just kind of like 2.0. You're a little bit more of an evolved version. You're more mobile than Baker is. You're a tough QB. You know, and Jackson Dart is trying to be you. And we also have to talk about how come they don't get penalties for leading with their helmet as many times as they've headbutted people. Should that not go both ways?
They gonna catch it after this year. They gonna catch it after this year.
Hey, bro, Scataboo is dead running into people like this. Like straight crown every single time. Okay. My game was Justin Herbert tried to make a comeback. And we do got to talk about these Colts, man. I know y'all don't believe in them, but
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I do now.
Yes, I do.
Because Jamel last week was like, I don't know. You know, he was, hey, man, these Colts,
I think Jamel was
Are they
just
a
leaning
problem?
on the point that we got to worry about Daniel Jones carrying this throughout the entirety of the season. But if we are being completely frank about the situation and we're looking at the facts, which are what we love to take a look at, the facts are the Indianapolis Colts are for real. Like dead
Jonathan
serious.
Taylor, he's having an MVP type season. He just had 3
Scary.
more touchdowns.
Scary.
3.
When he was doing his
3.
little going into the end zone because he was dancing, I was like, yeah, he did that twice. I said, oh no, they're not even playing football.
3.
They playing whatever they want to do right now. They just having fun. Like I'm telling you, I was laughing on the second touchdown because once again, he was so open to getting into the end zone. He was able to still do his little touchdown
On the
celebration as he's
way
crossing the
in.
line.
On the way
Crazy.
in. As
Crazy.
someone that has Daniel Jones as a QB in fantasy football, it's so hard to argue with him in these numbers, bro.
Numbers are ridiculous, bro.
He was a freebie on the waiver wire, a freebie. And he has been consistent. Mind you, I only had Daniel Jones because the Bengals are trying to ruin Joe Burrow's life. Because that's who I drafted. And unfortunately, that turf toe week 1 put me in pain. We weren't even considering Daniel Jones as a backup. I was looking at Dak Prescott and said, damn, this may not be a good look. And went and got Daniel off the waivers as well. Being able to pick between them two has been something because even for Dak, to your point earlier of how many points they put up, he's slinging the rock. I'm never going to give you credit, Dak. I just want you to know I appreciate you while you're on my team. Anything outside of that, no. I'm so sorry, bro. No. You're a perpetual loser. I'm gonna start sounding like Stephen A. You are a perpetual loser in Dallas, bro.
As long as you have on the star, I can't do it.
You know, it's not even the star. It's not even that. It's just you as a QB are in a situation where you can't get over that hump. We see you every time. And you've had a star next to you for the longest period of time. So now you have CD and George Pickens. You give a lot of other QBs those two receivers, they be putting up numbers too.
And George is
unless you're Jalen Hurts. unless you're Jalen Hurts with an upset AJ Brown. But no, back to Daniel Jones. Man, look, even their defense is getting stops.
Yeah.
Turnovers. Punching you in the mouth. And I love the Chargers because I feel like the Chargers are they are right there. That's a team that's going to be very scary soon. You see my fantasy team. I have I got most of the Chargers.
They just need a stroke of luck. They're right there. Yeah.
In the other league that I'm playing in, Keenan Allen went stupid. I have Justin Herbert on my bench, and I only have him on the bench because I have Jalen Hurts starting, right? But stupid. McConkey, Quentin Johnson's getting touchdowns. Their tight end was going nuts. Their tight end was going nuts. They got the offense. I think Hampton being hurt kind of threw him off a little bit, but you still have Vidal who also got hurt. Like you're right there, and the Colts just kind of slapped you up. Kind of slapped you up. Are they a dark horse team? Are we willing to give them that credit? Are you a dark horse team? I know it's the regular season, but we about midway through. We're approaching that round. Can you consider them a top, we'll say 5 AFC teams right now?
Can I call them a wild card? Can I call them a wild card team? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to call them a wild card team because I think they have the potential. Luck has just not been on their side, plus injuries. So if we're looking at that being realistic, down the line, that's going to hurt them. So right now, I still want to call them a wild card team. But like I said, a stroke of luck is all they really need. And if they can get that, I think they can be a dark horse team. But I don't want to get that to them yet.
We're saying wild card. I said 5 specifically, but are we saying do they not win that division?
I think there's a chance they fall.
2?
I mean,
Tennessee? Jacksonville?
I mean, quiet as kept is Jacksonville.
Ew. I'm gonna let you go, but ew.
I'm just saying, I don't like it either. I don't like it either. But if we're talking about the games that are happening, I mean, Jacksonville's a serious team if they get the right stroke of luck as well. So
we started this NFL season with me blatantly being open about the direct comparison between Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones and the slander
that was
that
your
Trevor,
second quarterback you had to give your love to.
you know, and it's one of those where I was saying from jump, how is Daniel getting slandered, but Trevor isn't? And even with this past weekend, it's like Trevor put up numbers, but y'all were down by forever.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason Travis Hunter should be getting his first NFL touchdown just this week. Now, that also is with the usage of how they're going about it, but you have a generational talent of what it seems. We haven't seen this since Deion Sanders, someone that's playing both ways, and he's doing pretty decent on both sides of the ball. I don't know what's happening with Brian Thomas Jr., but in watching some of the Jacksonville games, you're looking at Trevor like, who are you throwing to? There wasn't an offensive or defensive player in that area. Like, who are you throwing to? You got them taking down the Colts. Ooh. I would have spotted you if you said Houston.
I'm sorry. We were talking about the Chargers. We're not talking about the Colts, right?
No, I was talking about the Colts. I was asking about the Colts. Do you see
We were in
them?
the conversation about hang on. We were in the conversation about the Chargers. I was talking about the Chargers. I don't see
no, because I swung it back to the Colts
right now. Okay, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's what I was saying. I was saying,
no.
So do you see them?
No.
Do you see the Colts as a top 5 AFC team? Is the question.
Yes.
Give me your other 4.
AFC?
Yeah.
I mean, Baltimore's out right now. Cincy's out right now. Cleveland. Okay, so Denver, Indy.
You got
Kansas City. Yeah, of course.
Which is crazy because they don't even have the best record. New England as a top 5 AFC?
New England.
Really? Okay. We'll come back to that.
And then Pitt.
Yeah. Pittsburgh only because of division. You're going to win that division. Fair.
Everybody else is crippled right now. You got the old man out there throwing the football, but everybody else is crippled. So I'd rather take my chances on the old man.
New England is interesting, especially in that division. So you're not going to give Buffalo over New England?
Oh, I missed Buffalo. I'm sorry. Yeah, so Buffalo would be the other team. So you could probably push out. You could probably push out either New England or Pittsburgh, but Buffalo's in there. If you want to do recency bias, we can push out New England, but I think New England's going to be the squeaky team that gets in.
So if out of that top 5, where would you place Indianapolis?
They might be 1 right now.
Ooh, hot take. Market. What is it? 123. There we go. Market. Yeah. Number 1.
They might be number 1 right now.
Okay. Let's continue on with the potential reaching. Are they number 1 in the league right now?
No.
Okay. Well, all right, that's fair. I'm not mad at it because the NFC do got a couple monsters. So if you have them number 1 in the AFC, what are our current 5 in the NFC? We've been doing weekly updates. What are our current 5 in the NFC?
Okay, so I'm pulling up the teams
and
now.
before you answer that, I will add this. I will change my position on what I was seeing in Tampa, the way that they got punched in the mouth. Like I saw
Mike Evans going down. Like, come on, man.
That hurt. Prayers to you, man. Yeah. That hurt.
Yeah.
hurt, man. Like, bro, that was tough. But even without Mike Evans, because Mike Evans had been injured this season as well, and we've seen Baker be able to move the ball around from Igbuka to you got Godwin back, you got K. Dot, and you were able to do that. But I watched Baker. Maybe it was just an off game, and I don't want to jump out the window on him, but I was watching Baker miss throw after throw. And not only were the lines on his helmet, but even for the time that he had time, you were just missing easy throws. That little flick that you get to be, it looks spicy when it's connecting. Now it looks cute, and you're just missing when it's not there, or you're just overthrowing it.
Right.
And I saw blood. Like I saw a broken nose and blood in his mouth, and that is the Detroit Lion defense. But I saw where you looked beatable. If I'm going to see Tampa Bay and we're rounding the playoffs, I'm going to that game.
Right.
That game right there. So in that 5, I'll spot you Detroit. I will spot you Philly.
I'm looking at the teams now so I can help you out.
Detroit, Philly,
San Fran.
Through in my mind. I don't believe in them like that. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Seattle.
Because we do this every year. And remember, San Fran in that whole division, we're gonna see how that plays out. Because I don't have San Fran better than LA.
Okay, that's fair. So you can put LA in there. So you
in the top 5 of the NFC, Philly.
So Lions,
San Fran.
Philly, Green Bay.
Okay.
Then you've got to make your decision on if you're going to do Rams, Tampa Bay, Commanders. Like, where does that teeter for you? Because I know you don't have the New York Giants in there. I know you don't have the Arizona Cardinals. And I know you're not trying to sneak in your Atlanta Falcons right now.
No, not right now. But with the game that they gave San Francisco gave me a lot of hope. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's one of those Atlanta could mess around and win that division, but I still don't have them anywhere higher currently than 6 to 8, personally.
Okay. So right now, the confirmed ones that we have is Detroit, Green Bay, and Philly. So you've got 2 spots.
Green Bay confirmed.
I think so. I think with the defense, it makes it very easy for Jordan Love if he can knock down some games. Very easy.
I don't
to be in the top 5.
Because I will have to see them utilize Micah Parsons better. They're making him a full-on defensive lineman, and that's not what he is. He'll put his hands on the ground every now and then, but in the way that they're utilizing him, you've stifled what you traded away for. He's going to be the threat on the defense. If they can neutralize him just long enough, you're able to move down on Green Bay's defense. And that's a lot on Jordan Love. Jordan Love hasn't showed me that you're going to be the consistent, I'm going to put up numbers, right? As far as the QBs go, you can maintain and you have flashes of greatness. I'm not saying you're bad, but it's like, I would expect for Jordan Love somewhere between 17 and 24. That's what I'm expecting from you game by game, give or take. You can move that era, right? You're not going to give me you're not walking out here with a guaranteed 31, and it's not necessarily because of you. You have a powerful running back there.
Right. Great receivers gives you some too.
You got some good receivers, but we also seen Jordan Love is like you can win you a game not always under pressure. And once we get to these top 5 conversations, we're talking about pressure. You're going to be in that the season's on the line, you're going into the playoffs, and now I've seen Jared Goff be able to make some plays. I've seen Baker Mayfield be able to go get them plays. I've seen Jalen Hurts be able to go get them plays. I've seen when we start talking about the NFC piece of it, I've seen Matthew Stafford be able to go make them plays. Pressure on the line. Like, it's us versus them. Clear it out. Jordan Love hasn't shown me that yet, and I don't think their defense is holding them down completely to where they solidified. I think they still got some games because it's still kind of early, and I might change my tone, probably say in a couple of weeks. But the way that they're utilizing Micah Parsons kind of tells me is like I think they're still figuring it out because he's not meant to be on the line every single time.
Right, and I get where you're coming from because how he was utilized in Dallas and how he was able to come in like the linebacker position and come down the middle whenever they did the pressure. But as far as him applying the pressure to the quarterback on every single play, they're putting him in positions to do that. Mike is having to work double hard to get around the big guy or push around and make the swim move or whatever. But the whole point is to put the pressure on the quarterback, and he's doing that every play because he's not able to bounce outside of the pocket because Mike and them create such a hole that like you've got one or two options. You either have to sit here and wait for one of us to put our hands on you, or you've got to go right down the middle, and then we've got somebody waiting for you. So I hear what you're saying. They're definitely not utilizing him the way that they used to, or the way we're used to seeing him be utilized. And for a portion, maybe he's not reaching his full potential. But Green Bay's whole defense is centered around just putting the pressure. And so if that's what they do every single play, because as you've seen in their tape, they're putting the pressure on the quarterback every single play. And then soon as Micah gets loose, that's a sack. And he's been having the results the past couple of weeks. The boy had 3-4 sacks in a game. So, like, it's not as if he's not getting the result that you would like. It's just a different utilization that we've seen from Micah Parsons in the past.
And I think it's difficult for him to get more sacks because Dallas's defense was porous. The only person who got to the quarterback was Micah Parsons.
Right.
Now he's on a Green Bay defense where just about everyone can get to the quarterback. So it's gonna lower his numbers because he's on a better team.
Yeah. So he was talking about the AFC. I'm sorry, the NFC, and was just talking
really
about
really quick.
Yeah.
This what I'm saying to the Packers defense. Defensive rushing wise, they're ranked 6th. Passing wise, they're ranked 15th.
Okay.
So even with the sacks that you're getting, it's like you have a game up and then a game of okay. And that's where I'm saying it's kind of inconsistent with them. And I kind of struggle with that.
As a defensive though, but not Micah.
Not Micah. I'm saying Micah is an example of what I'm seeing of you still figuring it out because you putting him on the line every single time is saying you're still trying to test that defense. That he just happened to be the example I'm using. Yeah. So
okay. No. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. Micah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because for example, Micah isn't Myles Garrett. Micah is really an outside linebacker that can play on the line every now and then. He's not really a defensive thing. Yeah, like he can move you. Now, when you had him and DeMarcus Lawrence on side by side, and you're able to rotate that as porous as the Dallas defense was, that's a nasty threat. DeMarcus on the line, I can put you on the other side. You got to figure it out. And the Packers do kind of have that similarity. It's just, bro, him being able to stand and see and make a move, that explosiveness that he has coming off of a 2 or a 3-point stand, and you could vary. Look, that's why they called you the best defensive player in the league at the time.
Yeah, they're using Micah like Javon Curse used to be used. Like Javon was like a DN, but he literally could move like a linebacker. And they're making him they're putting him in the same positions, and they're doing everything, and they're using him just like him. And it's so freaky because every time you see this dude pop out of the outside and he's got an angle at the quarterback, he doesn't even have to have a straight angle. It could be like a curved angle. And this dude is still finding a way to get to the quarterback. So it's just like, what are you supposed to do? They've already got the pressure coming from the defensive line. And then you've got this literal lion on the outside, just eyes down, looking to try to figure out a way to get to you. It's just crazy.
Okay, so to that point, we're struggling to come up with a 5 for the NFC. So does that mean that the Colts are possibly a top 5 team? Because I don't believe in San Francisco the way you do.
That's fine. But we also talk about Tampa Bay and we talked about Seattle. And I think those two teams can etch it out to where we can grab 5 out the NFC and still have a conversation.
You might have higher hopes. I don't have Seattle, even though that division is relatively even right now. I am not ready to put faith in Sam Darnold in that manner, the way I just watched him fold in Minnesota just this past season with a better offense and a better defense, and you got exploded. Bro, they tore your ass a new one to end the season and then to begin the playoffs. Two back-to-back games. You didn't just fold in the last one.
But see, I'm not looking
You
at
had a
at
house
one
divided
player.
in your house.
I'm looking at a whole
in your house.
team. I'm looking at a whole team. So we talking about right now the team wins and losses. If we're talking about the entire team and what a team has to do, then Seattle is the part of the conversation.
Him leading you is why we have to focus on the player. And you got to go out there and show me that outside of Jackson Smith, you had Jettis. You also got Jackson Smith. When they put that pressure on you, can you move it around? Can you consistently move down the field? I don't have him there yet myself.
Okay.
Right. And
so
that's where
I can
give
down.
the edge back to San Francisco. Okay.
I'm writing this down so that way this might be the third quarterback that you might have to apologize to here in the next couple of weeks. So we've already had
who was the two?
Trevor Lawrence. You had to
I've only apologized to one.
to.
Who's the second? I'm not apologizing to Trevor Lawrence. You had a decent
game.
You're still
I'm sorry. You had to retract your statement. You had to retract your statements on Trevor Lawrence after the performance he gave. And now Daniel Jones is number 2. I feel like Sam Darnold might be doing the same thing to you in the next couple of weeks.
When did I slander Daniel Jones? I was giving him credit. I said, because remember, my statement on Daniel Jones was, why is he getting slandered that Trevor Lawrence isn't? That was my statement. I'm saying it should be equal for both. I didn't slander Daniel.
Okay.
I didn't slander Daniel.
Okay.
Trevor, I walked back for that one game. Then we saw this past weekend, and he's right back in that same mix of what I said. There's more games of you being a pack of mid than there are of you being better.
Okay, so for all intents and purposes, it's only been one quarterback. Thank you for walking us back down that line. But I think this might be another guy where you might have to retract some of these statements that are a little bold. Because the team is still being successful, regardless of what's happening. And he might be the X factor in some of these games.
What was Minnesota's record last year when they finished the season?
Really good.
No, yeah, not just really good. What was it?
Like 15-2.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Okay. And the New England Patriots went undefeated in the season and lost to the Super Bowl. What are we talking about here?
And
you're telling me Sam Darnold is Super Bowl capable
right
now?
No, I'm not. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you could be so good, get to the Super Bowl, and still still lose undefeated. And then you got a dude who had no expectations on the season lead a team to where they were, and then they did a decent job. Like, the dude had no expectations. They had none on Sam Darnold last year, just to pick up the pieces and make sure that they didn't fall flat on their faces. And then he took them to 15-2, and he's still getting the slander that he's not the guy. I understand that he's not, C.J. Stroud and all these other guys as far as quarterback, but you got to give credit where credit's due. He turned it around where he was supposed to turn it around, and now he's riding a ship in Seattle where they were looking at Geno to be the man. He's doing all right.
Okay. I watched you. Two things to that, right? And you can write it down. I don't mind walking it back later on. This is keep it clean, bro. I have no issue cleaning it up. Two things. I watched you go 15-2 and then get treated like one of the wastes of a pimp named Slickback in 2 back-to-back games whenever they needed you the most. Let's separate the difference between that undefeated Patriots team. Tom didn't get smacked down like that when he lost. I watched you get beat down by 20 plus in back-to-back games. The team you just saw last week did it again to you the very next week. You could have at least made the gap closer. Your current record is about the same as what Geno had last year for that same team that you're on. That same team that you're on. Geno was slinging the ball at a higher rate with these same receivers. Well, you had DK, right? And I'm still slandering DK, but
just
you don't
Metcalf,
have the DK
but
Metcalf. No, he had Jackson Smith. He had Jackson Smith last year.
Okay.
So Geno had similar records as what you have right now. I'm not seeing the stellar difference to say I'm going to put Sam Darnold in that conversation.
No. I'm not saying Sam Darnold is that guy. I'm saying you're not giving him
Okay.
any credit whatsoever. I'm saying you're calling him a waste man. I'm saying that you think that Sam Darnold is down here with the garbage, and I'm saying that this dude has turned it around to at least be a halfway decent quarterback to where he's not being
Okay. Fair.
dragged every
Fair.
week whenever we have the success that we've seen. Do we expect him to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback? No. That's not the
Let me
expectation for
let me
Sam
be clear.
Darnold.
I'm not saying a waste man. I was more so saying I don't have him as top 5 in the NFC. That's what I was saying.
The
I don't have him as
team,
a top
the
because we were talking
team,
about top 5 teams. He's leading
right.
that team.
You pulled
Yeah,
out
I don't
Sam
have him.
Darnold and you said you don't believe in him, and that's fine. But I'm saying, as a team, based off the record and how they're playing right now, what other team do you have? Because you can't find one right now that's beating them out.
Beating out Seattle,
Right now in the
LA,
NFC. Okay, so
LA
that's what we were trying to
one.
come up with. I'm saying Seattle. You're saying LA.
I'm taking LA. I watched LA
Okay.
lose their arguably their best receiver, and Devontae Adams reminded you I'm still Devontae Adams. That's a fact. I'm
Okay.
taking Philly over them. I am
Yes, we said that.
taking NFC. I'm taking Detroit. We said that. That's 3, right?
The teams that we
I'm
said
taking
was the teams that we said that we had a lock on were Detroit, we had Philly, and then we said Green Bay. Those are the 3 that we agreed on. So then we were looking for 2 more teams, and we said we were having a hard time trying to make that decision. My decision was Tampa Bay and Seattle, and you were saying you
I'm
couldn't
not
come
mad at
up with
Tampa.
2 more. Okay.
No, I'm not mad at Tampa. I'm just saying I saw them get punched in the mouth to where it kind of lowered them a little bit.
It's ours to taste. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not ready to count out Minnesota personally. As a team, I'm not ready to count out Minnesota over Seattle.
If I may,
I'll give you San Francisco over Seattle.
I'll
easily give you San Francisco over Seattle.
I agree with you all on Philadelphia. I agree with you all on Detroit. Fuck Green Bay, but yes, I agree with them. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC West, in my opinion. The Rams. Something I want to point out with Tampa Bay, they're an injury-riddled team right now. They are beat up. Same thing with San Francisco. They're an injury-riddled team. They are beat up. Both of them are 5-2. I think San Francisco, once they get healthy, will be better than Tampa Bay. So, and Seattle, Sam Darnold, to his credit, like you said last year, he had no stress last year. He was playing with house money. He also had, I think his name is Kevin O'Connell, is the head coach, considered another offensive genius. And now he's in Seattle, while not the best coach in the world. He's a defensive head coach. He came from Baltimore. They have Legion of Boom 2.0. So he has a great defense that's going to help him out. He's not garbage. He's not garbage at all. But I wouldn't want him as my quarterback in the playoffs. I wouldn't want him in the playoffs.
Me either. But we're talking about who makes the top 5 in the NFC. I think that's a conversation.
I still, if we were talking about top 5, I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFC. So, and not
we're talking about top teams.
I know. I was going to say I wasn't finished. I was going to say that the team doesn't always go as far as the quarterback, but typically your quarterback takes you where you need to go. So if he's not a top 5 quarterback in the NFC, long story short, they're not a top 5 team in the NFC.
5 teams don't win a Super Bowl. So I just don't understand why we keep getting derailed by this conversation. You keep bringing up one individual on a team when we keep talking about
Can
teams.
I offer a different perspective?
Let
me offer a different perspective. I think part of what I was saying as far as the struggle to bring up the next 2 is the drop off. because the way that we listed off AFC teams and we see the solidness, it's like right here. And hell, even after the 5, we might be able to give probably 6 or 7 where it's like, nah, they're still not to be messed with. On the NFC side, after we list Detroit, Philly, I'm still willing to put the Rams there, Green Bay. After that, it's a little iffy. Like there's a drop, because remember the origin of this conversation of where do we put the Colts? If we're saying the Colts are top 5 over there, maybe a top 3 team, and I had asked, do you think on the NFC side would that make them a top 5 team? Do we have teams on the NFC side that we're like, nah, they look scarier than the Colts right now?
Well, no, I thought when you were referring to that question, if that they were the best team overall, looking at the NFC.
Yeah, I was asking.
That's what I thought we were having the conversation. Okay, so just clarifying that side. Yes, obviously, I think the Colts are the best team, even if you put them over here in the NFC, because the way that they're rolling on both sides of the ball is where I would go with that. Now, the only thing that I have to say with that is it doesn't make me feel great saying that statement. I've got Detroit in there, and I think Detroit is honestly, like, if not one of the best teams in the NFL right now. But if you're looking at production, you're looking at the record, you're looking at how they're handling teams, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. We can sit here and argue and debate about who we like and who we'd like to have as our quarterback and all this other stuff. Daniel Jones is getting the job done, and the team is rolling. So what is there to really argue about who's the best right now? Because they're clearly the best team right now.
Jamel will argue Chicago.
Jamel could argue
I
that
would
too.
definitely argue Chicago, 1,000%. Just real quick, the Colts, they lost to the Ravens. They lost to the Ravens beginning. Excuse me, not the Ravens. Shoot. Who was it? They lost to the Rams. Excuse me. They lost to the Rams. So they played a good team in the Rams, but then good team in the Rams. Dolphins, horrible team, under 500. They beat a good team in the Broncos by a point in a really good game. But then we look at the Titans, horrible team. We look at the Raiders, a horrible team. And we look at the Cardinals, not good, not bad, I guess average. So most of their competition hasn't been great. And I think if you put them in the NFC,
where do you place the Chargers?
Oh, excuse me, the Chargers.
They just beat
the Chargers are. I think you're absolutely right. I think the Chargers are a really good team. So we're looking at 500 when it comes to playing good teams and bad teams. But I think if they play someone like Philadelphia,
like everybody else has to do,
they would have a problem with Philadelphia. I think they would have a problem with Detroit. I think they would have a problem with the Rams. They would be a top 5 team in the NFC based off their record, of course. They'd be tied for number 1. Actually, they'd be number 1. I forgot Green Bay had a tie. So they'd be number 1 in the NFC based off their record. But I think there are some teams in the NFC that would just give the Colts the business. Give them the business. And I still have no faith in Daniel Jones. So it could be my bias.
We can remain consistent, man. We can remain consistent.
I hear the record talk, right? But like everybody else plays sorry teams throughout the years too. So it's how you handle the teams while you're playing them. And what we're seeing right now for the Colts is that they have no problem handling business, whether you're sorry or you're good.
Because I watched that Philly team get their ass kicked by a team you on this very podcast called sorry. We watched that happen. Philly got dismantled by
the Giants.
Yeah. Scatterboo was out there dancing his butt off. Yeah.
Philly let Bo Nix come back on them before New York did. Philly barely got by Tampa Bay.
They were caught off guard by the Jackson Scatterboos. They were caught off guard.
Nah, they got caught off guard because Scatterboo was sticking his helmet in the middle of somebody's chest when he was coming.
Yeah. All right. So do we have an update for our Super Bowl standings from last week?
I'm still riding with Detroit.
Okay. Who they playing? You gonna get the Chiefs State credit? I know it burns. You gonna get the Chiefs State credit? Are they there?
Yeah.
Who they playing?
They're playing the Chiefs.
What about you, Jamel? Update?
Philadelphia and Chiefs. I don't like either one.
I'm gonna double down right now with Denver. They haven't
not
played
mad
the
at it.
Chiefs yet, so because we still get 2 opportunities to see how that plays out in both Kansas City and Denver.
Mm-hmm.
That defense against what is now gelling as a pretty solid offense of Kansas City might give us an insight of what we need to really look at. Because I do think on the flip side, while the Chiefs defense is good, the Broncos offense is all right. The ball game's not going to be won by the Chiefs defense or the Broncos offense. It's going to come down to that Chiefs offense and the Broncos defense. On the NFC side, I just can't discount Philly, man. I watch Jalen Hurts go out there and go back to what we said the other week in the essence of what do you need? A quick 21 to win? Cool. Here, AJ, here's a little bit of a supplement, right? Shut your ass up. Sit down, right? Oh, but by the way, the guy that I do like, Devontae, bing, bam, boom. keep throwing, keep running. Here you go. Catch that rock. There you go. Yeah. Bro, we forgot that Saquon was there. I didn't forget because I was playing you in fantasy and I was looking at that 4.2 like, yeah, sit right there in that pocket. Sit right there in that pocket. Right? And it was even more upsetting because I had Devontae on the bench. We both had trash games in fantasy. We did. I got saved by a couple pieces. I had Devontae on the bench, but Saquon having 4.2, yeah, stay right there, right? So they go.
I'm so tired of Jalen Hurts.
They go and win a game where they didn't even have to flex their entire offense. And that's how dangerous they are. That's how dangerous they are. I still can't, as much as I want to give Detroit that credit, because, boy, that defense looked nuts.
Can I tell you why? I'm sorry. Let me just tell you why.
Go ahead.
Let me just tell you why. The reason why is because Philly has this identity crisis. And now y'all can say it's not a crisis all you want to. 1 week they running the ball, the next week they throwing the ball. They're trying to figure it out because they don't know the game plan or they're calling themselves adjusting. No, they're going through the motions and they're trying to make everybody happy. Detroit is a team that's bought in. They are in. So whatever the job needs to be done that week, with the pressure that the defense is giving and wreaking havoc on people, we are going to be the more successful team down the line if we stay healthy.
I believe in everything you said. I'm 99.9% with you until we talk about Jared Goff. And I just don't believe he's the finisher. I don't. I'm so sorry. I don't believe Jared Goff. You have Jahmyr Gibbs. You have St. Brown. You have you have Jamison Williams. You have Sam Laporta. You have a hell of an offense. You have Aiden Hutchinson dancing on people on defense with a secondary that's very underrated. And then there's Jared Goff. There's Jared Goff.
Trent Dilfer was the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens.
Did he win?
And they won a Super Bowl. Yes.
Trent
Dilfer. So if Trent can be the guy for the Baltimore Ravens who have the world-class defense, and we have the defense that we have right now with the offensive pieces that we have, don't give up on my boy just yet. That's all I got to say.
Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl.
All right.
Arguably,
Watch. I can tell by the demeanor this is about to be disrespectful. So like pull it back by 10%.
It's not disrespectful.
Right?
No, this is just factual. You went to the Super Bowl with arguably one of the greatest defensive players we've ever seen. Ever. In Aaron Donald. With a stellar defense on that side. Right?
Yes.
You had a pretty solid offense on that side too. And all they did was switch you out, and the very next year they won the Super Bowl. It might just be you. I watched you dismantle the guy that I just dismantled in full slander of Sam Darnold, of just knocking him down to that piece in 2 games back to back. And then the very next game, you folded. You folded in that moment. I believe in Detroit but it has to be in a way where the defense made an extra stop or two to supplement what he can't cover. That's probably the best case scenario that I see for you guys. That's where I'm at with it. If they are able to say, let's make it an offensive shootout, and I go, here, go get me a touchdown, you're down 7. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure with Goff. If they're able to just mitigate a little bit, hey, we can figure out what to do with Gibbs just a little bit.
So recency bias aside, can you look at the work that he's put in for this season and then at least just say he's got a fighting chance? Or can you just not let that go because it's okay?
No, because I had them as my upset team last year, too.
Okay.
I had them with the injuries. I had them as my upset team last year with Aiden Hutchinson not being there, Laporta still coming back from injuries. You still had Gibbs. You still have St. Brown. You have stellar offensive weapons. It's just one of those things of when they fumble, and it crumbles very quickly in the game. That's it.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at with Detroit. I do think that's a nasty team. I don't want to play a team that they're worse than playing Madden. There's no such thing as punting on 4th down. It's not existing, bro.
You're playing so much 4 downs of defense. It makes the game so much fun.
You're playing 4 downs of defense. I think the only reason that you're such an aggressive team that you suspended Deion Branch. Not even that you really believed. I don't believe Dan Campbell actually believed what he said. It was just, hey, we actually like you. So before the league does it, let me just give you a quick game. See, we got him, and he right back next game to putting hands on Juju again. Right? I understand it. They're the energy that Tampa brings with the talent to match it.
Right.
I just think he's that man. He's just that one piece. I told you I'm 99.9% there. That 0.01 is Jared Goff.
What game would it take you to understand that we could get over the hump? Who do we need to beat?
What do y'all have left on the schedule? Let me see. Schedule.
I got you right here.
Oh, y'all do play the Eagles.
Yes.
Play the Eagles in 2
Vikings.
weeks.
There's yep. Vikings, Commanders, Eagles, Giants, Packers, Cowboys, Rams, Steelers.
So y'all are playing 3 of the teams we just spoke about. Amongst those 3, I'll give credit if it's kept close with. I'm not mad at 1 and 2, but the 2 that you lose, if you were to lose them, if you kept it close, I'm solid. If it was like an ass whooping, it's kind of proving the entire point. But it may not come down to golf. It's just, I'm there with it. I will.
Okay.
I don't want to wait till December because December is one of those. By that point, depending on where you're standing, you might have a couple of injuries. You might have some people sitting, maybe. Right. You end the week playing some bums with Chicago. I could say that now that he kind of disappeared over there.
But you end off November playing the Packers.
Yeah, that's a game. Mid-November playing the Eagles. Let's talk about it. Mid-November playing, because that's going to be a statement game for both of them.
On it.
For both of them. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Last but not least, NBA's now officially here.
Yes.
We came into the season with Russell Westbrook telling us that LeBron is full of fraudulency. We started off with Stephen A. And let's round out with somebody backing up what he said. That boy said, you come in with a Malcolm X book and you can't even quote it. You're a fraud. You play giggly with Will Smith. You big phony. But the NBA season is back. We did some predictions last week. We saw last night that Houston OKC.
Let me just say, shout out to my boy Thompson. I took him as my very first pick in the first round. Now, he wasn't the number 1 pick. Like, let's be clear, it was 12 teams. But my first pick, I took Amen Thompson, and he hooped last night. He was out the game for a little while, came back, and still hooped. So I'm just
Still
saying,
hooped.
as a player, we knew we were going to have to ask a lot of him. And I'd say
Uh-huh.
them like Houston because Van Fleet and them are out and you need more production for him. But this is literally what you want to see on a night to night basis. If he can do this, Houston's still going to be scary without Van Fleet.
Yes. Yes. The rotations that Houston was able to throw out there on the floor, and I know it's just night one, that's a scary team when they become healthy. That's a very scary team when they become healthy.
Sengun?
And then yeah, bro. And then on the flip side, OKC still looks like OKC. Really quick, really quick. You know what I just realized about SGA shoes? Those are just the answer fours, but
Oh, for
Converse
sure.
version.
Oh, for sure.
That's what it took me a little bit to pin it, but then when he came in walking with the game and I saw the white and gold combo, yeah, they're just the answers, bro. They're the answers. I was like, I see what you did.
Yeah. And he's got the
I see
braids.
what you
He's
did.
the point guard with the come on. Come on.
Yeah, they're the answers. They're the answer for it.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask this question. And I know it's a little bit difficult because of the recent signing that team just did, bringing
Okay.
them all together. Does Giannis request a trade? And if he does it happen before the trade deadline?
I
You're not
feel
winning
like
in
if it
Milwaukee.
was right, I feel like if it was to happen, it would have happened this offseason, before the draft. I felt like that was like the best time if he wanted to really give them and like the Bucks the best opportunity to make it happen. I feel like that was the time. Um, he
Okay.
should want out. Will he ask for out? I don't know if it's like a backdoor conversation of like, hey, listen, I'm not going to be the one to say it, but you guys need to figure this out and get me up out of here. Maybe. But he should want out. That's my answer. Will he ask for out? I don't know. He's got his brothers there. He even said it in the interview with all the brothers. He was just like, if we don't all play together in the NBA, we'll just go play for Greece. Like we'll play on one
Mm-hmm.
of the major teams in Greece and just team up there. So I know it's not like not gonna happen. You know, it's like it's never gonna happen. It's going to happen at some point. But I just don't know if he's willing to play the politics game for his brothers rather than go somewhere and win. So I think he's still in his prime. He wants to win, so he should ask for out. That's my answer.
I think them signing the third brother was good enough to hold on to him for now.
Okay.
I also agree with your point of him wanting to win. So it's like we played together. At some point, I can see a situation where he's going to request, I need all three of us on the court at the same time. And it's clearly going to be in garbage time minutes where usually Giannis is subbed out and his two brothers go in. So you give him about 2 minutes of satisfaction, right? So you could say, we did it, go back home, tell mom, whatever the case may be. But if he wants to win and I'm Milwaukee, do you have to trade him now to at least get a return on investment?
I don't think there's like a expiring date for Giannis. You definitely want him sooner rather than later, but I don't think his like expiration date is like something you really have to worry about that soon. But it definitely seems like he's ramping up with his like I'm tired of this mentality. You know, you can kind of see him get a little bit more frustrated. But to your point, I think he's gonna have his like LeBron and Bronny moment where they're all on the floor, everybody high fives and we applaud and we say, "Oh, this is such a cool moment." And then after all that like subsides, it's like, okay, this was really great, and I'm glad I was able to get my brother's bread. It's time for me to roll.
Okay. Who can get him?
And that is the $1 million question. It's almost like, have you seen the starting five yet on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay, the new season with KD and all them in it.
I haven't seen the new season. I saw last season.
Okay, so you gotta check it out. It's pretty good. But KD had a moment where they brought up the whole trade last year about how he was about to go to Golden State. And he literally said, I don't want to go somewhere where they have to deplete a team just so I can fit in. because then I'm starting
Right.
from a rougher spot than I would be if you just plugged me in somewhere to where I'd be able to just help out immediately. So I think Giannis wants to go somewhere where he can help out immediately, but he doesn't want to have to deplete the team to do it.
Okay. Now, there are still 2 teams out there that don't have to deplete their team.
And they are New York.
Oh, okay, then 3.
And then who's the other 2?
OKC and San Antonio.
See, now remember we talked about this. OKC has enough to go get a dude like Giannis and not even touch their roster. That's not fair. That's not
And so
fair.
does San
You can't
Antonio.
do that.
So does it, because both of them, you got OKC in the effort to send that, and I'm sure they're gonna have to send somebody. Like
Yeah, for sure.
I can give up Jalen. I don't mind giving up a Jalen and some picks to go get him. I know it's like you don't want to because he is very nice, and then I also have Giannis because I still have SGA and I have Chet.
Right, but you're
I
getting
can send Chet and move. I can send Chet and move Hartenstein here and be fine, right? I can send Dort in some picks because I get the defense back that I lost with Dort to have Giannis here in OKC. That's a fact. I can send rookies. I got 2 back. Well, one that I'm willing to trade in a rookie of the year in San Antonio with Stephen Castle. I just got Dylan Harper. I got rookies galore. I can send you Vassell. I know once I take Giannis, you're in a rebuild phase. Stephen Vassell is a good pickup for a rebuild phase. He's better than Kyle Kuzma.
For sure.
He's better than Kyle Kuzma, right? I can send
Absolutely.
you. Would I give up De'Aaron Fox for Giannis? If I'm San Antonio, would you give up De'Aaron Fox if you get Giannis back to have him next to Wemby and you have Stephen Castle?
I mean, I'm about to say you're leaning heavily on Stephen Castle, which I'm not mad at, but you are also saying that Dylan, like Harper, has to play like now. You're saying you have to be sure that he's good enough to play right now to fill that mold. And I don't know if he's got the biggest shoes to fill De'Aaron Fox. That's a big hole missing. That's all I'm saying.
You are filling De'Aaron Fox's role. Now, depending on what goes with that trade, I don't know if you have to send. You'll probably send Stephen Castle and Keldon.
If you have to give up Castle, it's not a good trade.
You think so? For Giannis?
I think I am that high on Castle.
Because that UConn product. You're a UConn product.
It's tried and true right now. It's tried and true right now. I am that high on Castle. After watching him last year and then seeing him come into the season the way he is now, I am that high on Castle. Yes.
Okay, so you're not okay if you keep Castle and give up Fox. Stephen Castle being able to run the pick and roll.
You're getting Giannis. You're getting Giannis. Like, we're not talking about some scrub, so I get it. But, like, when I'm looking at the team and I've got to give up Castle to get Giannis, I'm not saying it's an equal swap because obviously you're getting way more with Giannis than you are with Castle. But if you don't immediately win, you lost the trade.
Oh, no. I'm saying keep Castle.
Okay.
Send De'Aaron Fox and maybe Vassell for Giannis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Fair. Good rollout. What, anything you want to add? Anything you want to add to wrap this up on the NBA portion?
If the Golden State Warriors are healthy all season, they might be a problem.
Might be is so generous because I think they will be a problem.
That's why I'm being generous with it because they are a problem already, but we know that the health is an issue for them. If Kuminga plays how he did last night throughout the entire season, pissed off at the whole organization and just taking it out on the floor, they're a serious problem. Anytime Stephen Curry is healthy and you've got a good team around him, he is in contention for winning a championship. There's no question behind that. So if you give him Kuminga, who actually steps forward and makes the jump that they've been wanting him to make, bias the
Yeah.
aside of whatever Kirk thinks, he better be on that floor and you better win them games because they are scary right now. And it's game one.
I think Golden State is in this position to where they're just trying to play to be somewhere between 3 and 6, not be involved in the play-in, right? That's it. As long as they're not involved in the play-in, that's a scary team right there. I'm not mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
I will counter and say I think somewhere in this season we might see either a trade to assist or a trade away of LaMelo Ball.
I hope so.
Because he's doomed in Charlotte.
Get him out of purgatory. They don't care about winning in Charlotte. They care about filling the seats, and that's all they're doing right now.
Yeah, fair. All right. That's what we got for y'all this week. That was 2 hours of additional talk of beauty, right? We did do a fantasy basketball draft. I do want to let y'all know Abe and I are involved in the league, and they messed around and let me get Wemby, which is insane. They messed around and let me get Wemby with my first pick. Wemby dropped a 4. He dropped a 4. And I get Jokic and I get Giannis. You had to choose between Luka and Wemby. Y'all let me get Wemby. And I'm looking at half my team. I got a lot of Spurs over there because I did go get Dylan Harper as well. And Vassell. But we're in the league.
I drafted Castle just because he drafted Wemby and I didn't want him to have him. I'm just going to let you guys know. I purposely drafted him because I have a high ceiling for him, but I also knew that I didn't want David to have him. Okay, that's the truth. All right, I admit it. Whatever.
Knowing that I would have the pick and roll combo between them two, what's going to be such an issue?
I wasn't going to watch that happen. I wasn't going to watch that unfold.
And I'm not gonna hard too hard because on the fantasy football side, because I know we got to see each other again by the end of the season, so I might mess around and lose that one. And my team isn't doing the greatest. Like we are scraping by, right? But in the basketball piece, yeah, that comes with a little bit more bragging rights. Come a little bit more bragging rights, even though I'm getting smacked down right now by Craig's team. Boy, got 235 on me.
Dang.
Jiminy Cricket. Yeah, he got 235 on me, man.
I got 312 for the night. Ooh.
Man, but most of my games are still in the first quarter
this week.
Yeah, most of mine are still in the first quarter. Yeah, okay. But that was another episode of the Keep It Clean Sports Show, man. We appreciate y'all being here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We are dropping on YouTube. We are placing the sports show probably going to be exclusively on YouTube. We might give you some DSPs every now and then, but what we're preparing for in this sports world, now that basketball is here, we're going to have some Keep It Clean turmoil, right? I don't know if Abe paid attention to the last episode that we just dropped on the other side of the pod, but that boy Ev had his name in his mouth. Said, I'm coming to see you. That's what he said. I'm just telling you. I was just live in real time. I'm just saying, Ev say he coming to see you. You're going to have to talk to him. And you know what? That Detroit LA game might be the perfect time to just see, two brothers go at it, see what this conversation actually looks like. Right?
Hey, Ev, I'm here, man. I'm here.
You know what I'm saying? That might be a good conversation in the future because we should have did that because him and I plan on pulling up for the Atlanta LA game.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been one to go pull up in Detroit as well. But next year, we might be on that. We might be on
there
that.
You go.
Or we might pull up on you because Ev is allegedly. The way that you cheer for LA is the way that he cheers for Golden State. He's like, you're from St. Louis. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. But one then Lakers, Golden State, we might have to pull. Okay, we got something going, but you're going to see us on here. We're dropping clips on a regular basis. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on this future Twitter page coming. Follow us on Instagram. I'm going to make a Threads page just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it for y'all. We're going to make Threads. I might bring back Facebook for you. Just because You know, that AJ Brown thing got some slander over to Abe. I want to see what the Facebook conservatives have to say about it. We're outside for y'all. We're outside. But like, comment, and subscribe.
I don't want Facebook mafia on me on that one.
All the Cowboys fans are on Facebook.
That's right. Yeah.
They gonna clean you up on Facebook. All the Cowboys fans are over there hiding. But yeah, man. But we appreciate y'all, man. This is the Keep It Clean Sports Show, and we are out of here. Much love. Stay safe.